they can win, but Optic Gaming has always had Rise's number when it comes to these online matches. You think back to some of the 25Ks they matched up with, as well as some of the Stage 1 games. But Rise, they've definitely been working on their game types when it comes to Search and Destroy. I'm really looking at Looney to step up here. He had a bit of a quiet hard point. Struggled early on. He had one good set of kills where he was able to get some streaks on the side of Rise, but wasn't enough to allow him to come back into the game.
I mean, how many times did we see this week where there would be a submachine gun player who was really lacking with a presence on the map, just being a nuisance to the opposing team's base? When the team doesn't have that, that's really where it begins to fall apart. Looney, you mentioned the slow start there. Definitely a reason why Optic Gaming were able to get those first couple Cerberus. Obviously, Formal earns himself one as well. We're already, though, in the Ban and Protect for our second map of this series. Looney, right off the bat, bans that overkill. Does not want to have to deal with that on this map.
You have stronger snipers on the side of Optic Gaming. Smart play from Rise just to at least limit the usage of the sniper's rifles. I wouldn't be surprised if they even go as far as to ban the SVG.
All right, well, there goes the flashbang as well as the concussion from Crim6. Still the same old for these two squads. The rapid fire as well from Slack, and now it's going to come down to Octane and Scump for your final two bans. Where do they like to go from here? I mean, do you potentially see Octane ban something like
I think he could ban Danger Close.
There it is. And now Scump with the final pick. Possibly Heatwave.
HCs.
Possibly HC. And maybe Thermal.
A lot of different options you could take, and you can see he's discussing it will be the HCXDs, which I love every time those get banned. I feel like you always get good usage out of them. Even if you only spot one player, it's not like you're putting your life on the line. Then there's always the possibility that you get a kill out of it.
This is actually one of my favorite maps for HCXDs, especially on offense, because you go in towards tin, you call in the HC, you have your AR player wait right by that tin window, you peek your HC out, is there a player sitting on that back alley cover?
You don't even have to peek, you can just third person through the window
or the door. You fly out, be a distraction, let your AR peek out, get that first blood. Great little tool to get control of the A area. Crim6 does go with Vision Pulse yet again. We'll definitely talk about that one later on. Octane the same.
Nice.
For the most part, though, it does look like it's a mirror matchup between these two squads.
I love Vision Pulse, man. I feel like you always get good, consistent usage out of a specialist like that.
Yep.
Going back to the HCs real quick, I feel like players have been getting a lot better at just EMPing the HCs whenever they're on the map.
I think EMPs have been fantastically used so far this week. We saw multiple times where kinetic armor would be popped, EMP'd right away. Active camo players were getting EMP'd right at the start. Multiple Cerberus that came in really didn't have an impact in some of the games as well. Cloud9 was one of the teams that I believe had theirs shut down multiple times this week. Optic Gaming obviously go up 1-0. If you are just tuning in, be sure to use that hashtag CWLPS4. I've been reading a ton of tweets. Maven's clothing for today has been made fun of by a lot of people. Been seeing a lot of comparison pictures.
So I think Maven looks great.
I think he does.
Need to stop teasing him.
That is true. We need to keep. Who am I kidding? He talks all the goodness he needs to about himself. He gasses himself up quite a lot in this one. But Fringe S&D going to be your next map. Octane and Crim6 both with Vision Pulse. Octane typically, when he grabs Vision Pulse, his role is to solo hold an area on a map like Fringe Search and Destroy. Do you think Optic Gaming will like to try to take him off the map early or just avoid him?
To take Octane off the map early? I mean, sure, whenever you could take somebody like Octane early out in the round, that gives a lot of movement you can have on the map, because what is Octane going to do? As you're saying, he's going to sit down, he's going to hold a position and just get a lot of information for his team. So let's say he's just setting up in the back alley over near the A bomb site. If you take him out, all of a sudden that exploits that whole area. You force Rise to rotate over and compensate for that. We see it all the time on a map like Hunted, where he's always solo holding that B bomb site. You take him out, it opens up that whole side of the map, and kind of make a Rise play a little bit more frantically.
It's always interesting to see when he performs well in Search and Destroy. Typically that means a lot of success for this team. At times when he fails to hold those long sight lines, watch out for into the uplink. Let's find out with Maven and Mr. X.
Stuff as always, guys, getting primed and ready here for game 2. Very close. Optic blew the gates open, but Search and Destroy, completely different beast.
No, I want to say I'm going to give the edge to Optic Gaming.
Okay.
I think they're not as bad as the Search and Destroy team as like we kind of make them out to be. They're very hit or miss. They're up and down.
I thought they improved a lot.
Sometimes they're there all the time.
They weren't very good in AW. They weren't great over maybe the beginning of Stage 1, halfway point, but they've certainly improved a lot.
Definitely improved, and this is Rise Nation's weakest game. I mean, Rise Nation, second best uplink team from Stage 1.
Yeah.
Pretty good CTF team. Very good hardpoint team. Now, I too got a lot of mentions about your jacket.
Oh, dude, I am either being told my jacket is beautiful or I need to see a doctor, a professional.
You remind me of like Now, like a WWF manager who would like lift up the ring and like hand like somebody like a crowbar to win a match. Look like a shady old man. Anyway.
Well, that's what I am. That's actually exactly what I am. Of course, once I switch off of Formal, he's going to hit the snipe. Slack able to pick up one though. He was in a 1v4. He's got Crim, Formal, Scump to all deal with, and Formal going to connect with his second snipe of the map. And you know, we talk a lot about, you know, their S&D gameplay. Scump goes huge at times. I think Formal's probably their most consistent S&D player, and we've seen him do some really big things on Fringe. That snap on the player not being.
We don't see him use the sniper as much as we have in the past. That time, busting out, picks up 2 kills that round, I believe. Very nice start for Optic Gaming and Formal. Let's actually stay on with Formal on the offensive side, see if he's still going to commit to the sniper rifle play.
It appears that he is, for now, going to be going top granny. So let's take a look at the map. Is there anyone going to be there? Yeah, he might get someone top barn. He saw that player slide across. You can't think they want to re-peek this. And it looks like they've already jumped out. So that was Slack. Yeah, so Slack's already got out the backside. Started to push forward. We'll get eyes around the map here. Try to find where the early aggression is going to come from. Let's see, Crim playing it slow through 10. He was able to tag one up, but this could be a nice little bait and switch here if he challenges too far. He sees him on the cross. Gonna have to wisely back down as there's 2 players there for him to deal with, Matt.
I was gonna say, kind of odd to watch Crim chase one of those kills.
Yeah, I thought he was just gonna fly out the window. I was like, settle down.
If there's one thing out there that you can learn from, you know, watching competitive, this obviously the Pro League, competitive FPS in general, it's like, do not chase kills. It's like the worst thing you can ever do. It's going to be Karma coming in, picking up one with the RK5, Formal with another snipes. That's 3 snipes for him through 2 rounds of search and destroy, and it's going to be Optic with a 1-man advantage, trying to work their bomb down over here at the B site. It's going to be Karma taking out Looney. Classic's going to trade that out right away. They have an idea of where Classic is. He's going to get taken out of the side by Crim. Yeah. Perfect pinch from Optic Gaming. So they go up 2-0.
Good control here from Optic thus far. Like you said, Formal getting it done with the snipe. And we want to hear your guys' feedback on Twitter. We're talking about this particular matchup. We want to know. Use the hashtag CWLPS4. Reach out to Maven, Matt, Mr. X as well. What does Rise Nation need to do to take this particular matchup? What do they have to do to beat Optic Gaming? Obviously, they've struggled with this one in the past. What needs to change, or how can they pull out the victory tonight?
It's going to be Rise on the offensive side of things, trying to work over towards the A-bomb site. And what I would say to that question is Rise needs to win the search and destroy. Well, actually, you have a very good Rise Nation team in Uplink. It's going to be the top 2 Uplink teams from Stage 1 going at it, but I don't think Rise Nation wants to find themselves down 2-0 in this series going into that Game 3. You're going to see Slack here over in auto. He's going to get a lot of shots put on him. He's going to slide out, try and bait out for his teammate. It's going to be Looney able to pick up a kill. He's going to drop the hands of Scump in the mid-street, but it should be Rise Nation getting the bomb down over at the A site.
Well, all of a sudden you find Crim by himself. 2-0 lead here for Optic Gaming. He's got to pull off the potential 1v3. Bomb is down. He's got a lot of work to do, but he's got some time.
And right now, with 35 seconds left, for the bomb to blow up, you want to just take your time to work into this site, try and get a pick. And if you can leave yourself getting one with, 15, 20 seconds left, you find yourself in a pretty decent spot. Crim misses a bunch of shots there on that player behind the truck. It's going to be Octane flying in, able to take him out as Rise gets on the board.
Yeah, finally getting on the board here. Maybe they can get a little bit of momentum in this one. Still early on. But nice shots here coming in from Octane behind truck to connect on Crim trying to push through. Are they going to be able to tie this one up, bring it back, push Optic Gaming the distance in this one? We'll stick on with Formal just through the beginning as he's going to have snipe out. See if he can connect on anyone. Last time he just missed a player sliding across the top. I think it was slacked last time. It's going to be slacked again. Is he able to connect? Nope. Almost times it perfectly this time, but just going to miss.
It's going to be Scump playing over, and Z's going to get some eyes on one player behind the A-bomb side. Usually we see players, they'll use that wall run, they'll go up high and then jump into the A-bomb side, but it's going to be Scump just walking across the middle of the street. It's going to be Slacked taking out Formal. I believe Formal was over at that white truck, and Slacked ended up blowing it up.
Well, Looney's gotten close. Crim is right here at L, and Scump's gotten through as well. They don't realize either of them has crossed. Now the information's going to be there, and Scump's going to think, oh, God, somebody has pushed through. Now he's in a 1 versus 4. We've seen him do it before, but no easy task. they have no idea he leaked through. They're hunting back in spawn because he pushed up right through mid-street and got in. It's like him and Looney basically cross streets there mid-street. Now I think they're finally starting to realize he might have pushed through. Now the information will be coming in. Not able to win it. Looney closes it out. That was just an awkward sequence of events. It's the reason I stayed with Scump for a while is I thought him and Looney were going to bump into each other mid-street. Not going to be the case with Scump.
Nothing Scump can really do there in that 1v4 scenario. I mean, what? He gets the bomb down. He's able to kill maybe 1-2 players. Still doesn't make it out alive. And it's going to be Rise able to tie this one up. Be a huge map if they can take this.
All right, let's go over to the offensive side here. Who do you want to watch from Rise Nation?
Let's go on with Looney. So we'll see. He's probably going to be one of the more aggressive players. Pushing over towards small door, and he's going to have one player directly sitting outside to his left. I believe he sees that player sliding across. This is not a great angle to challenge this gunfight. It's going to be Scump winning the first engagement. Classic trading it out, though, able to take out Karma. It's going to be Looney putting down some nice shots on Scump through the fence. It's going to give Rise one-man advantage.
He's got one right above him in window, though, is the issue. Formal's just staring down here. He knows he's there. There's a player at tracks as well, going to pick him off. Krem by himself, not able to do it. Looney gets the final kill, and Rise has ripped off 3 in a row here to take control of Game 2. You mentioned, S&D not their best game type, but if they could steal one here off Optic Gaming, we've seen them do really nice stuff in Uplink for sure. One of their better game modes. They play excellent in CTF at times as well. This series becomes very, very interesting if they can take this S&D.
Yeah, couldn't agree more. I believe you heard Revan talking about how Rise kind of went back after Stage 1 finals, reworked some of their S&D game. You can definitely see playing much better in this one, and go on with Optic Gaming on the offensive side.
Formal put away the sniper. That's the thing that kind of stood out to me. He's been using it just about every round. Going to put it away for now. Slack gets aggressive, able to pick up one. Remember, he was pushing through top barn on the cross and had Formal looking at it every time, able to make the call out on his movements. Not going to be the case this time. And he will be able to get through and get that first blood. Smokes out. Krem just staring if anyone's going to maybe push through. Let's check
Usually
the back
you throw a smoke a little bit deeper, trying to get yourself into the site. It kind of smokes Krem off.
Yeah, he's like, I can't go anywhere now.
Yeah, he kind of smokes himself off, not really able to even get out of small door.
And I think this is the third time we've seen Optic Gaming find themselves in a 1v4, right?
Yeah.
Krem, Scump, and now Formal trying to do the impossible. Rise Nation on a roll here. They've had some really just decisive, impressive rounds against Optic Gaming. And they're 2 rounds away here from tying the series up at 1-1.
Now this one quite odd for Optic. They come out, they storm through those first 2 rounds, and then Rise able to make a pretty nice comeback, winning 4 in a row. We're gonna see if Optic can stop the bleeding here. And it's a team that when an opponent gets momentum against them, it seems like that they're just relying on one player to make it kind of like a hero play to make a comeback.
That's been the case for sure thus far, but look at this mid-street push. You have Camo for Classic as well. He's soaring right into barn. He doesn't check his left. Does he realize the player across? I believe he heard him. Should be able to push. Going to be able to pick up the kill here. One more across, but this is a very quick 2v2. You try to push in from behind, but Octane's there to clean it up, and now it's Scump. 1v2. He is the guy that can clutch this, but the shot's a little bit off target. Not able to pick up the first, and now this becomes much more difficult, except when you re-peek and challenge like that. You think you'd wait for the teammate in the back. Scump's just got to guess properly. He should be tagged up from behind in a moment, but not able to finish the kill. And Scump goes vertical, challenges, wins the 1v2, and decimates Octane.
Well, we talk about somebody making a hero play to turn the tides. This is it. I mean, just an insane play here from Scump. Turns. I actually thought Octane was going to take him out pretty easily. I thought Scump was going to turn his back over towards the B-bomb side.
I almost switched to Octane about 10 times when Scump was facing the other direction. I'm like, this is going to be an easy one for Octane to pick up, but it's never easy to kill Scump, and you get eyes on why that is the case.
Let's stay on with Optic on the offensive side of things. I want to see if they can do a little bit better job pushing through this B-bomb side. I believe you see Krem now with a smoke just doesn't go deep enough. You want to smoke off the cross there, so the guy in the back rock can't see when you cross over to the bomb site. The smokes just need to be a little bit deeper from Krem, and it's going to be Scump able to get one through the smoke there. Nice shots on the Slack.
Barely able to see him, but he is able to pick it up. Now in the back on defense is Octane. He's got to be aware there's one on the left. That might have been called out from his teammate that just went high off barn there. He still hasn't spotted this player. Let's look at Karma's point of view. Now they're playing hide and seek. Karma reacts a little bit slow, and now this is going to turn into a 3v3. You still have Scump in a good position. They've got bomb planted, and they're just trying to start hunting for these players. Looney gets caught on the other side of the map. Let's go back to Karma coming out of Little Room. There's one in the corner. He's going to get eyes on with him. Not able to pick it up. 2v2. Scump and Formal left to do it. Scump's got an easy one. It's going to actually be Formal picking it up after the assist. And now let's go over to Octane. 1 versus 1. He'll get dropped by Formal in the closing seconds after 4 straight from Rise Nation. Optic able to bounce back with 2 there and tie it up at 4-4.
It's not a great B push. Obviously, they're able to win the round, but if you're going to try and smoke that off, you actually have to get the smoke down there, because otherwise, one of these rounds, if they don't actually connect with those smokes in the proper spots, they're going to get picked off because of it.
Yeah, and you got to be scared of Octane sniping, right? I know he's been mostly using the M8, I think, on the defensive side, but when he pulls out that sniper, he can be so deadly. But the man that's been doing the damage has been Classic here. He's 10-4. Going to watch his point of view for now. They've hit A. They've taken control of mid-street with smokes. They've got aggressive with camo across mid-street as well. They've tried a lot of different options. Now it looks like to be kind of more of a slow B push here.
I feel like they might end up going too slow here. Maybe you can usually tell a round develop when you see the arrows on the mini-map. It doesn't look like anyone with any sense of urgency, and it just seems like Rise trying to bait out a pick here, and it may end up hurting them if they don't commit to something fast.
Well, Looney's starting to get up through mid-street, so he's going to be in a position to be very deadly, whether he can get in behind Barn or come in behind A. He also has Heatwave to work with as well. This is something we see Zuma do quite a bit. He usually hugs that brick side, but he gets in a really good position. There he is, catches someone not at all prepared for his location, and now he's going to fly right into Barn. Can't finish the kill of the player coming out the back. Bomb getting planted though, a B currently before he falls. 2-on-2 here, and there will be the plan for Slack.
It's actually a 2v4 with Karma and Crim, the only ones alive for Optic Gaming. They quickly pick up 2 kills. Look at this. It's going to be Classic, able to get 1. Does not realize Crim is in there as well. Crim's going to chase the kill. He's going to be able to pick it up. Now looking for Slack. Slack's able to finish off that kill. And Rise Nation 1 round away from tying up this series.
Nice stuff. Back-to-back rounds coming down to a 1v1. Optic getting the better side of the first, and now it is Rise Nation able to close this out here with Slacked. They're 1 round away from taking this one, tying up the series, but it's going to be defense now for Rise. Let's see. No one real flashy on either side other than Classic. And you've got, all right, so we have Formal with camo. You have Kinetic for Scum. Oh, so they're about to get just beasted off of A right now. There's nothing you can do here except maybe somehow Formal's going to get the kill. Finally picks it up. He's going to challenge. Just keeps on pushing. He's going to have to reload here. He has Scump with Kinetic behind him if they opt to fly through this. But Scump just guns him from the back. What is Scump using? Wow, what the hell?
That's kind of crazy. That's a very long-distance gunfight with a VMP.
I was going to say, did he pull out an M8 this round?
Yeah, I was like, why is anyone even challenging that player in the back? And Scump just... some ridiculous shots. Quite odd. Octane only has 2 streaks selected.
That is interesting.
Which is quite odd.
At that
Usually
class.
don't see it too often. Oh, okay.
Goes from a 1v4 to a 1v2 very quickly. They still haven't planted
and
bomb
he has his Kinetic.
And correct, he has Kinetic. You would have, I think it's going to end up being something like 2 or 3 specialists for either side. If this gets to the round 11.
If it does go round 11, I feel like most players in the game have their specials. Like, Karma has Heatwave. You have Scump with his Kinetic. You think if one of these players drops during this round, they end up using their ability? So,
well, this is for the 1v4 ace, and to close things out. Can he get the wall bang in? They're both there to deal with. He's not going to be able to do it in our first S&D of the night on Fringe. We've got a round 11, baby. And the first thing I want to do, we'll go through as soon as they spawn. I want to see who has what, because I know we've got several specialists on either side, because that's going to be the deciding factor, right? Who's going to be able to use their specialist most effectively here in round 11? You never want to be the guy that dies. Remember, like Looney in the Game 7, he dies before he gets to use the Heatwave in that round 11. You can't have that happen. So we've got Octane with Vision Pulse, Kinetic for Slack, Looney with Heatwave, and then it's Scump with Kinetic, and Heatwave for Karma. I feel like Karma's going to be the man that's have to make a play.
Rise just has a lot to work with right now.
Well, you have a Heatwave and Kinetic on the other side, too. It's really just the difference of a Vision Pulse, right?
Vision Pulse is pretty solid to have, and Classic picks up an incredible first blood on Krim. He comes flying through auto, hits that wall run, jumps up, and nails him in the mid-street. Fantastic play by Classic.
Karma might get caught too. They know right where he is. Nades coming in. The Vision Pulse comes out. They know he's here. He tries to fly out. Not going to work. Formal all of a sudden by himself. He's got no abilities to work with. Getting gun mid-street, picks up one. Can he do the impossible? He's got a lot of work to do. 3 players left. Bomb down. Player directly behind him. Player directly in front of him. And he's going to get shut down by Slack, who had a huge performance over the closing rounds. And that's a 6-5 win for Rise Nation.
Classic has an incredible game. He finishes this one off 12-7. Slack 11-6 as well.
Yeah, Slack win because when Classic had 10, I want to say Slack had like 5 or 6 kills.
Yeah, Slack really came on in the end.
He went huge over those last couple of rounds. And what did that round 11 come down to? It was really Classic in the opening kill. That camo ended up proving huge.
Well, it was a sick play because he goes through auto and he kind of hits that wall run, and instead of looking over towards Z, just kind of looks over towards Globe, because I was on with Classic there.
Yeah.
And he just guns Krim with a VMP. Krim's actually peeking out that mid-street to see if a guy can cross over from Z into that A bomb site. Takes him out. They rotate back. You see the Vision Pulse come in. They get a good idea where everybody else is, and Rise Nation able to take that round.
I feel like, did you want maybe Optic to be a little bit more aggressive when you had the heat wave, you had the kinetic, just hit something and hit something hard, whether you're hitting B, whether you're hitting A, regardless, just go together and hit it. Try to kill these players before maybe they get the option to use their streaks. I know that's tough to do.
I mean, I think you could have hit